Is your soul calling you? This is Philip Mount Rose, my wife and partner, help people step into the heart and soul with coaching and healing. In this short video, I want to explore you and your soul and where it can lead you and the wonderful life it can provide, because your soul is calling you. And the question is, are you listening? Hopefully, yes. It may take a while. You may think you're just imagining things, get a glimpse. But after a while, you start to wake up. You start to pay attention. That's part of the journey, isn't it? So two important questions here to ask is, what are you waking up to? And what have you been doing now while you haven't been awakened yet? Well, they are interconnected. In the short term, we tend to be a lot into security and survival and some materialism, enjoying material things and sometimes getting a little carried away by it. And that can be a problem. And that can wake us up too. Everything can. And at a certain point, we realize that there's a better life there for us. There are things that are more important, more fulfilling. And we get a sense of that just throughout our lives when we're in beautiful places or watching a sunset, a sunrise, and being in beauty. And that evokes the soul too. But at other times, we need to be jolted. Something needs to kind of fall and hit us on the head, so to speak, a jolt. And it may be a loss of a relationship, an illness, an accident. Something stops. We pause. What's going on? We take a look around. Hey, wait a second. In other words, you start to get out of the momentum, the hustle and bustle, getting carried away, swept away, and just always catching up. And of course, we want to have our life relatively secure. And part of waking up, it puts security and safety, basic needs into the equation. But going beyond that, using that, life becomes a series of opportunities, really, to love, to grow, to heal, to connect more deeper with our soul, which connects us with that other side, which is through the veil, which is here at all times, that greater us, the greater you, that greater me. And we start to awaken, and we may hear the messages, hear the whispers. Things may be strange synchronicities, hearing a word, a message, something that makes you present in the moment, feeling that I am here living this life now. So why did your soul help you come here, choose this lifetime now? It wasn't by accident, certainly. William Wordsworth, the poet, sublimely wrote, "Our birth is but a sleep and a forgetting. The soul that rises with us, our life star, hath had elsewhere its setting, and cometh from afar." So our soul chose a body, a family, a setting to learn, grow, heal, love, and more. And it's kind of like a silent partner there in the background, helping us with especially important choices in our lifetime. So we don't let our whole life be but a sleep and forgetting, although with free will, we have a choice to do that, whether to wake up, to hear the music, to follow our own path, to create our destiny, to become the author of our life and the hero of our own story. That's a choice. It's a wonderful choice to make, and it's part of waking up, isn't it? So how do you do it? How do you awaken? You start to hear these messages, the synchronicities. You might hear it on a TV show or from a conversation or something you read. And it shows you something more, something about your path, something about a deeper truth, how to get out of the mess and the hustle and bustle of daily life. Something to remember, what I'll call is trust but verify, trust but verify. So there's an Islamic saying that goes, trust in Allah, but tie your camel first. So this can help us awaken too. So when we start to become familiar, connected, listening to our soul, that's wonderful. And yet, especially at first, And especially for large, major decisions, we want to trust, but verify. In other words, we may want to go to other sources, other trusted sources, to get some input before we make major decisions. Certainly, we want to get our soul's connection, but it may take a while to get more deeper, reliable input. And it's good to get other input too, as well, on an inner and an outer basis. So as you start to get the input and the output, you start to awaken and listen to your soul. You start to get on your life's path more consciously. That involves continually reinventing yourself. We continually become a different person, a different identity. When we align with our soul's plan, our soul's path, that becomes more of our greater us, our greater you, where we want to go. And it may be something different as life presents certain opportunities. You might change professions, change locations, change settings. And that's part of it. Although there's sort of a through line, a themes that you want to learn about loving and healing and growing, contributing. And of course, at a certain point in our life, for instance, my wife and partner, Jane Montrose, and myself, and Awakenings Institute, our nonprofit organization, a few years ago, some of our offerings started to kind of lull. And having your own business, it's not a straight up, just like the stock market. It doesn't go straight up. There's some lulls and setbacks, and we realized we needed to sort of shift and change some of our message. So we did some reflection, kind of the hermit card and oracle decks. And out of last year came a new book, The Loving Power of Your Soul. My wife Jane did the wonderful book cover of it too, a guidebook to realizing your true potential. And a course that we just completed at this time, Abundant Living with Angels, Oracles, and EFT, which brought the angelic support into our life and how to heal with that and more. And that's been wonderful. So sometimes these changes, these lulls, are awakening in themselves. And you have to keep being present and seeing what is creatively presenting itself for you. And sometimes you reinvent and change and innovate. And the world really needs you now, doesn't it? Notice all the division and the gaps between the rich and the poor, the social and racial and ethnic divisions and unrest. There's so much of it, and that's why this heart-centered, soulful-centered listening to your soul is so important now. Because as you bring in more light and more awareness and love into you, you can radiate that out, bringing a little more heaven into earth, and you create a wonderful future on your path and help other people elevate their paths and their futures too. So it's a wonderful opportunity for you to listen to your soul and awaken more for you.